The coolest episode that I can think of was probably my first install was that crazy space age looking Jetson kind of, I don't even know what the hell you'd call it. I would call it art, but they call it a sunshade. Whatever in the hell it was, but it was probably the coolest.
Well, Robert's been building that crazy structure for the past few weeks, but now he's coming down to the home stretch. And as crazy as that thing was to engineer and build, the installation may be the hardest part of all.
So the original plan was that we were going to put this entire structure together either inside the shop or in the parking lot. But as we've put it all together and realized how large it was and the scale and weight of everything, now we're realizing that we're probably going to have to just do this in the field and run with it.
What could go wrong?
The what could go wrong question is pretty much everything, because there's a lot of different angles and a lot of different things that we have to work with. And if one thing at the bottom is 1/8 of an inch off, by the time we get up here, you're 3 or 4 inches off, and it's just not going to work.
So this angle has to be perfect to set up those angles that have to be perfect to set up that knife plate that also has to be perfect.
Where could it go south?
Where could it go south? It all goes south going through the center ring. It's either not gonna make it through the center ring, or this pole will run into the other 2 poles. Because there's from corner of pole to corner of pole to corner of pole, there's an 1/8 inch on paper, there's an 1/8 of an inch of clearance. There is no room for error in the middle.
When will you know if it's going to fit?
When we put it up.
Not before then.
No.
When you say put it up, you mean at the install?
At the install.
How scary is that?
I'm not an installer. I'll be sitting right here. I'll be fine. I'm off that day.
It really had to go together perfectly and just right, or else the entire damn thing would have just collapsed and hit the ground. When we're playing with big toys, we need big wrenches. It was really a tricky and interesting kind of install, but for them to send me out on this one being a really big kind of tedious install, went out there and kind of showed off, a little bit of what I can do, and, we just followed our plan and we got it done. It was extremely critical that we had that piece strapped just right. That way, once we got it up into place, we had to have it mostly level because that thing was ginormous. So we actually had to have the crane hold it mostly level to where we could actually muscle that thing in. Having SeaJaye out there with the drone was so fun to watch.
CJ's over here having a ball with those guys. Yeah, he's sitting right over here. They are. It's like kids on freaking Christmas morning.
Hey, Samantha, what did you just do with those guys?
So I flew over, was doing a flight test and seen a few of the construction guys, so I was going over there to check out what they were doing. And I fly next to the window and see that they're framing. So I fly inside past one of the guys and check around everything. There's no drywall up, nothing but framing inside. And then I fly back out and I see them with their phones out there filming me.
So now when you were in there, you've never been in there, how do you handle that?
So as soon as you get to the window, like you see an opening, you gotta check in, peek and look left and right, make sure that you have ample space to turn around. Even if you have to turn around right there and get out, you gotta make sure you can turn around. So I flew in and you could tell that there's hallways and stuff like that, but I don't know if there's somebody else behind a corner or behind some studs somewhere. So I just flew in, looked around, kind of turned around a little bit and then flew back out and was looking at the guy on the way out while he was filming me. The only thing I was really worried about though is out there filming on a ladder, not worried about the ladder and you're gonna fall off and bust ass.
It was really fun watching him actually operate that drone in person. It was really cool, man. That thing is probably one of the coolest aspects about being one of the installers out here. Once it was up and everything was done, dude, I felt really, really accomplished. It was standing there proud the way that we had built it, the way that we had drew it up, the way that it was engineered to go. And it was done, and it was perfect. Everything went together awesome, and I couldn't have been no more proud than that. If you want to see how we built it, how it all installed, look down below, click that link, you'll be able to watch the full episode. Please, we need a lot more subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. Come on, man, you gotta see us. Check us out.